We have a fun one for you today. So I'm going to make this progression video on my slide-in camper mod. I'm converting the slide-in into a actual canopy. And what I mean by that, you can check out my other video on this camper when I rebuilt the interior partially this past summer. But now I'm going to do something a little different. I've had this thing for almost 3 years now, and it's been on one other truck besides this one. But let's get into this here. So what I'm doing is I've mounted the camper to the truck bed using 4x4s on each side. I wrapped it in this nice window tape, and I hit it with a blowtorch to help activate the adhesive agents in there. And then I used carriage bolts, 3 carriage bolts on each side, like this. That drills all the way through the bed, and I got a washer on the other side, so now it's hard mounted. And let's go ahead and push this here a little bit. You can see it's solid as fuck. And the next step, you see all this space underneath now, and that the garage is a mess now because of this, but I had all these supports underneath the slide-in to give it enough elevation, plus 3/4 inch plywood to give it enough elevation so that the cab over could clear the cab part of the truck. So now I'm going to cut out the flooring altogether, which will effectively drop it down about 7 inches. And this is kind of a small camper, but I'll be able to stand up straight without bumping my head on the ceiling. And just to give you an idea of how much more space I'm going to gain, here's the wall of where it was, and all this was more or less wasted space. Still able to sort of access it from the outside and slide in like pieces of wood and tools and stuff, but this will be much more effective. You have all of this recovered and accessible from the interior of the camper. And had a leak up there, so I'm going to patch that up. I think the seals pooped out on me around that hatch, so bought some things to repair that. And it's a little snowy and wet right now, so we're going to dry it out for the time being and finish that up later. And I'm going to repaint everything with Kills, give it a nice fresh paint job. Also, if you recall from the other video, I removed the ice chest part and I left the box and used that to store all my tools. But I decided to recover that space, and I just sawzalled out the that box. And I may put hinges on here with a little leg that comes down, folds out, so they can still have a table when I need it. And otherwise use it for storage. Maybe I'll put the bin of dog food or something there. Also, I found a nice little marine heater. That'll be in another video. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm going to put that in there. And then I'll pipe it into the existing intake and exhaust so I can have some heat. Here's where the carriage bolts are. Top. And they're bolted all the way through the bottom. Nice and stout. And I'll need to seal this a little better. You can see some daylight poke through. So that'll be another step. Anyways, just wanted to give you a little update here. Just started this yesterday, so we'll see how far we get over the next couple of days. We've got a long weekend here. Alright, we got one section of flooring removed. I can now stand up straight. This is amazing. Look how rotten this is. It's been rebuilt a couple of times. I'm gonna lay down a fresh piece of plywood on the bottom of the bed, and I'll reuse that table mount. Otherwise, I'm already liking this. I can stand up straight for the first time now that I've gained that much clearance. Here we go. We got all the floor removed. This is what we removed today. A bunch of this. A bunch of trash. Now there's a ton of space. It's gonna be weird cooking. Look up to my stomach. Definitely feel a little shorter in this camper. It's opened up quite a bit. Alright, we've gotten just a little bit further. Repurposed a 4x6 that I was using initially as a support to support the slide in. And it worked as a perfect support for the bottom of that camper. I went ahead and wrapped it in that window seal. Same stuff I used on the outside. And then I reused the 3/4 inch plywood that the camper was initially sitting on. And patched it in there with a couple pieces of plywood that I had pulled out of here initially. And then took also some of that plywood and cut out some L shapes. So now what I have to do is insulate those. Insulate on either side here, and insulate in the back as well. I'll probably use the remainder to throw up a layer of insulation around the truck bed walls. Provide a little bit of sound barrier, and then maintain a little bit of heat, retain heat, and also keep it a little cooler here in here in the summertime. Picked up some 2x4s so I can add some support here, some joist support on these benches. This is where the bed's going to go, and the cushions. But it is coming along. There's a ton more space now, as you can see. Right, last update for this video. So I got the sides sealed in, some foam and board, and on the other side of that I also have some styrofoam insulation. Got these studs up here now, 3 on each side. Running the dehumidifier right now. Got some insulation up. I'm still going to I'm going to take down the insulation, clean off the truck bed with acetone, put some double-side sticky type on the other side of the insulation, and then form fit it to the truck so it looks a little nicer. Do that on both sides. Got that foamed in. Got some new insulation hung. I resealed the window. So I'm gonna wait until I'm sure it's absolutely dry in here before closing that back up. And then I'll paint the walls. Got some black mold and shit in here. I've been drying it out all weekend. I found a nice little diesel marine heater I'm going to install in here so I can reuse the factory intake and exhaust. But otherwise, yeah, camper to slide in, or slide in camper to canopy conversion. It's a lot more successful than I thought it would be. It's pretty easy. Here's the insulation that I used. It's like 1/2 inch. I double layered it all through here to help out. Seems to be doing pretty good. All right. So next, we're going to take some acetone, steel wool, and we're cleaning the sides of the bed here so that we can adhere double-sided sticky tape to it and tack the insulation to it as well. You can see that we have a little bit of seepage there from the outside on this side. The bottom part, the side's looking okay. Kind of expected as much, but we don't really have a whole lot of dry weather right now, so I think after I get everything all prepped up, throw the heater in here, dry it off the best I can, and then throw a bead of caulking on there. Alright, we're scrubbed down. We have our double-sided tape up. We've already done one side. Looks alright. We can fine-tune that later. Well, I hope you enjoyed my progress video. I'll post another video when I get a little further along, but that'll be it for my weekend project. Feel free to check out my other camper videos if you want to see what this looked like about 6 months ago. Maybe more than that now. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like so that we can get this content out to other people that might find it useful. Subscribe to see more videos like this and to continue the progression of this camper. And check out my other content to see what else I got out there for you. Oh yeah, my buddy offered to make me a wood rack right here. He's a finished carpenter, so I'm curious to see what he can do. I think that'll be freaking sweet. Alright, we'll see you on the next one.